Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and this is MSL News Report week number 5 now. One of the last 2 weeks to go in the regular season. It's crunch time between as the teams that are fighting for a playoff berth play each other in this week. It is crunch time. They need that every game counts from now on. Now, let's get into the games. The first game of week 5 was between the Luigi Knights and Wario Muscles at I think it was Daisy Cruiser, and in a very close contest it ended up being the Wario Muscles who saved their season, getting their uh first win on the season. This, although they haven't moved up from the 5 seed, this gives them a much better chance at actually making the playoffs than before them if they lost compared to the Luigi Knights, who did lose. The Luigi Knights are eliminated from playoff contention as they fall to 0-4, having a lost tiebreaker against the Spitballs and Muscles, and they can't even catch up to the Spitballs anyway. And the Luigi Knights are out, sadly for them. Moving on to the second game between the Peach Monarchs and the Peach Monarchs and the Luigi Spitballs, held at Mario Stadium. It was a dominating win for the Waluigi Spitballs, who won 16-5. Now we got a chance to catch up with the GMs afterwards, and they said, now we only got to get one GM, being JMick14, who used to be Yeti MC, but he is still the GM of the Waluigi Spitballs. After his dominating win, we asked him how does he feel about his chances of making the playoffs, and he said yes. And he said, how are you preparing for the game against the Muscles in week 6? And he said, jack squat. And we asked him, who do you want to play in the first round of the playoffs? And he said, not the Bowser Monsters and Monkey Man. For context, Monkey Man has beat JMick14 8 games in a row now, so yeah. Those were the only 2 games of week number 5, as the Yoshi Eggs and the Bowser Monsters were on bye, but this does mean that the playoff race is between 3 teams for the final 2 spots, being the Waluigi Spitballs, Peach Monarchs, and the Wario Muscles. Now I'll get into the standings. Still in the 1 seed is the Yoshi Egg, sitting at 4-0 at 37 points and having clinched a playoff berth. In the number 2 seed is the Bowser Monsters, also 4-0. Both teams are guaranteed a home playoff game. The Bowser Monsters, 4-0, 22 points, clinched a playoff berth. These two play each other in the final game of the season. The battle of the undefeated teams. Winner becomes the first undefeated team in a regular season games in season 2 or 3, which is absolutely insane. Now moving on to the number 3 seed, it is the Waluigi Spitballs, sitting at 2-2 and having the best offense this season with 38 points, thanks to a huge 16 points against the Peach Monarchs. This was massive for them, as this means that there's a strong chance that they will end up in the playoffs. Funnily enough, probably against the Bowser Monsters. In the number 4 seed, it is the Peach Monarchs, who blew a huge chance. They have now lost 2 in a row now, which is devastating for them. But they sit at 1-3 at 23 points. Still a solid season, but their chances of making the playoffs, though decently high, they're still been dented severely. This also means now they might play the Yoshi Eggs in the first round, which no team wants to play the 1 seed. Moving on to the first team outside the playoffs is the Wario Muscles at 1-3, 25 points. With their win and the Monarchs' loss, this gives them a slightly better chance of actually making the playoffs. And then the 6th seed is the Luigi Knights, sitting at 0-4, 13 points, and they have been eliminated from playoff berth. And I believe they have clinched the number 1 overall pick, so that is pretty huge for them. Now, moving on to the playoff clinching scenarios for week number 6. These are huge ones. For the Waluigi Spitballs, they have 3. First is a win and in, and the second is a loss plus a Monarchs loss would guarantee them a playoff berth, and the third is a loss plus having more points than one of the Monarchs and Muscles. For the Monarchs, a win plus a Muscles loss gets them in, and the second one is a win plus a Spitballs loss and having more points than one of the Spitballs or Muscles. And for the Wario Muscles, they have 2. The first one is a win plus a Monarchs loss, and the second one is win plus more points than one of the Spitballs or Monarchs. Now you're wondering, what are the Week 6 games? So the Week 6 games are the Wario Muscles versus JMick14 and the Waluigi Spitballs. This is the Battle of Wario and Waluigi, so this will be a huge one. Winner gets the playoffs, loser, there's a chance, is eliminated. Then the next game is the Luigi Knights versus LB Swimmer and the Peach Monarchs. LB Swimmer fighting for playoffs, whereas the Luigi Knights fighting for Team Pride. And then we get the last game of Week 6, the Battle of the Undefeated Teams. The Bowser Monsters and the Forgotten Wolf. The Bowser Monsters and the Yoshi Eggs play against each other. The Forgotten Wolf and the Yoshi Eggs looking to secure the 1 seed while they are rivaled by Monkey Man and the Bowser Monsters. And that is it. So now time for Rumor Roundup. For Rumor Roundup, it has been rumored that LB Swimmer approached the Luigi Knights about a potential Luigi trade. However, it was rejected. And several teams have been inquiring about Luigi, so he is someone to keep an eye on for the off season. But before I go, I will say, in the future there'll be more shorts coming. Basically, are showing off the rule changes, All-Stars, and the awards. So that's going to be pretty exciting for all of you. But one more thing before I go, please like, share, and subscribe. And at 100 subscribers, I'll do a 1-hour video in the FNAF Timeline. We are getting very closer and closer to that. And at 500 likes, I'm going to do a video on Greyjoy's Rebellion. Another one we're getting really close. And another one we were very close to at 50k views, I'll do a video on the life of Ned Stark. And if you want to see any of those, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, bye!